Everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ed Hutchinson, obviously, because you're on my channel. But today I've actually got something in real estate, obviously, to discuss, which is slightly different. And this is in regards to title companies, which isn't that different because they're very much involved in real estate. But what is different is it's to do with a hack. Now, apparently, I think it was on November 19th, hackers hit a major title company, which is Chicago Title, which is under Fidelity National Financial. It's a company that actually, even though it's Chicago title, we use a lot in LA, in Los Angeles, and in California. It's a company that I use to record a lot of my transactions. And Fidelity, I've got contacts there, friends who actually I work with quite regularly, and they are a massive title company. I believe it's about 30% of the US market is what they do in terms of, they control or they do the transactions for 30% of the US market. Now, this is really weird because obviously, you hear about a lot about hacks. A lot of the time it's financial institutions that have been hacked and money may have been stolen. I know that there are government organizations sometimes that get hacked, and a lot of that information is held as for ransom effectively. We will release it unless we are paid this much money, and I think actually that does happen a lot of the time without us being aware of that. Now that is maybe the take on this one, that I think that could be the situation with this. But basically, I believe on November 19th, they breached the systems of Florida-based Fidelity National Financial, who are the parent company of Chicago Title, which led to delays in closing real estate deals. Now, if you're unaware of what a title company does, they effectively record the title of who owns the property. So if you sell your house and your name is on the title of that property, this person owns this piece of land at this location, this address, that is obviously then sold and that becomes the property of someone else, and that is recorded nationally in the national records. So that title therefore needs to be changed, and this is the company that does that. They also offer an insurance policy in that situation where, for whatever reason, if something happens where there is fraud involved, or someone somehow sells a property that they're not actually the owners of, there is an insurance policy there to control, to give backup to that situation, and not to put everyone in the bad situation where effectively everyone's out of money or lost their property, etc. What happens there? So apparently with this hack, that entire system was brought down. So apparently, I think the website was taken down and just showing an error sign. Some of the transactions were delayed. Some real estate agents and attorneys said that there were delays ranging from half an hour to an open-end postponement. And so buyers, sellers, and parties involved in that deal didn't know what was going on. Now, if it was an hour and a half delay, I think that is something that can be expected. Sometimes they don't have the right documents. You need to get something signed last minute, which can delay these things just from normal transactions. But if the entire system is down, then that could be a major issue. For instance, if you've bought a property, you've got a move-in date, you're just waiting for the title to record that you are the new owner. You could have moving trucks sitting outside waiting, to actually move you into this property, and you are not the owner. And if that goes on for weeks, if that goes on for months, if that just can't happen and has to be moved to another company, I don't know what that potentially could mean for that person, carrying costs. They've got a mortgage that's supposed to go through and to start. Obviously, there's a lot of issues that could come up with that. And so apparently, that kind of started to happen a bit at the start of the pandemic, when people were trying to find alternative solutions. People weren't necessarily coming into work, to how to get that ironed out, because obviously it was a new environment that everyone found themselves in. And I think there was also a hack that went on in August, not to the same degree, but with the same company. And so there's actually an agent here who made a comment, Kathy Nosek from 4C Realty, and she said there was an incident in which on November 22nd, it took about an hour and a half longer for that transaction to go through. Wasn't a big deal, but in situations like that, that could have been a lot worse, should that be something that needs to happen now or something that takes a lot longer. So yeah, so it's the second cyber attack. There was one in August which affected agents' ability to market listings, and that was not effectively the recording of the property. I think that this is a lot bigger situation. And so apparently the group that have claimed responsibility are Alf V slash Black Cat. And so there's no news of stolen funds or financial information, which obviously could be a big part of that. And obviously I'll keep watching this story. If financial information is taken, then that is, you know, it's a really big reason for the hack to happen. And it's obviously a big breach of customer information, which could lead to some other bad situations down the road. The company is worth puts out in revenue $9.1 billion a year, massive, and it's 31% of the national title business in the US. So it's a huge, huge business. Now, I do think that that could be a similar situation. The reason that hackers go after that is because that information or that process is so valuable that actually being able to turn around to a company of that size and saying, we're going to give you the keys back to your system if you pay us this much money, the company probably looks at that and says, you know what, we're going to lose this much business, we're going to lose this much from just our systems not operating for the next few hours, therefore it's worth paying a ransom to do it. Anyway, guys, that is my story for the day. I hope you guys are great wherever you are, and have a fantastic rest of your day. If you could like, comment, subscribe, and I'd love to know your thoughts on this. That would be amazing too. Thank you guys so much. I'll speak to you all soon. Goodbye.